I want the horror story of investing.
The house caught on fire and burned down.
Someone stole it.
I had a grown man poop in my closet.
It's so easy on social media to look at investing and say, all you do is make money. But that is not the case. In this episode, I'm interviewing other investors and we are pulling back the curtains on what was the worst thing that's happened on one of the rental properties and what they learned from that experience.
My first rental property, I had a tenant who had 9 dogs living inside of the house. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit.
9 dogs?
9 dogs. I didn't know. She only showed me one. And then a few weeks later, the house caught on fire and burned down. So there we are. And so the root cause. Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
I guess the other detail was they investigated the fire, couldn't find the root cause of it, but they did find wax on the floor. So I think one of the dogs probably knocked a candle over or something like that. And
One of the 9 dogs.
one of the 9 dogs. So that's all I got.
Did they pay for the 9 dogs?
They did not pay for the 9 dogs. They paid for 1 dog.
Okay, but then how was it resolved?
Insurance claim. And so it was a full guts to studs rehab. So I got a brand new unit from it.
Nice.
No complaints.
I want the horror story of investing.
With the flip, it's been back and forth with the city permits. So I have a hard money bridge loan coming up in September, but I'm trying to refi by July, so the 10th month mark. The challenge right now that I'm running into is if the property will finish the permitting process before then, because it's a 1-1 on tax records, but a 2-1 as is. And I'm trying to permit that second bedroom so that it could have a higher appraised value. I just don't know if it's going to get permitted before July. So yeah, that could be a headache.
What is your name? How can people find you?
My name is Irish Abad, realtor with the David Green team. You can find me at irish.abad on IG or Irish Abad on LinkedIn.
If you know anyone thinking about buying or selling a home,
Central Valley.
thank you.
My name is Armel Bayat. You can find me on Instagram at REI Armel. And I'm also at LinkedIn, so you can check me out there as well. My first rental property, it's out of state. So pretty much I was doing a BRRRR strategy and I have to change the AC and the heater. So I got everything changed and everything is there. So I'm waiting for a new tenant.
Okay.
So this is before end of the year, a couple of years ago. So when the tenant moved in, my property manager got a call and she said that the AC wasn't working.
Oh no, but you just replaced it all.
I just replaced it on. And I said, what's wrong with it? My manager went there and checked it out. So the remote was working. And then they went outside. The AC was gone.
Oh, someone stole it.
Someone stole it. So that's one of the horror story that investing out of state.
So what happened? Did you file an insurance claim or did you just buy a new one?
I just bought a new one and put a cage on it. So it's working now and I feel safe, but it's part of it.
So what's the lesson learned?
Lesson learned is I would put a cage right away. And check before the tenant moves in and everything is there and really working.
My favorite one, which I've talked about before, I had a grown man poop in my closet that was carpeted. And the way I found out was my cleaner texted me and said, there is SHIT in your closet. Were there pets here? And so we looked at the Ring camera. There were no pets and no children. If it was a child, I would be a little more forgiving about it, but there were just grown men in the house. And I don't know why he chose the closet out of all places, but she said, yeah, it looks like human poop.
So did you, one, get a picture of it? And then two, what happened to it?
Great question. I asked for a picture and my cleaner's phone happened to be not working at that time, so I couldn't get a photo. But this is a cleaner that I trust and it's not something she would make up. And so I trusted that there was human poop, but unfortunately I didn't get a photo.
And then what happened? Did you ask for like an increased cleaning fee?
I did ask for a little bit of additional cleaning fee, and so this group of guys that were staying, they were actually construction workers. And this reservation was booked by their HR department, which is why I was a little bit surprised, because I feel like if you're on a business trip, you're not going to party or poop in the closet. Exactly. I was a little bit disappointed. But the interesting thing is the guest, who was like, I guess the manager of the crew, he left me a 5-star review. And he said in his review, it's like a beautiful home, great host, whatever. But he also, in his private note to me said, I wasn't there the last night and I apologize in advance if the home wasn't left in the condition it should have been. So I feel like he might have known his coworkers would have had like maybe one too many beers, or maybe they told him they pooped in the closet. I'm not sure, but it's almost like he knew.
So did the company pay for increased cleaning fees?
They paid a little bit extra, but my cleaner was also gracious and didn't charge me an arm and a leg. She just charged a little bit. Also because her camera wasn't working and she couldn't provide proof that there was poop. And so she knew that she couldn't charge too much more because she couldn't provide a photo evidence. That's one of my many horror stories.
All right, Josh. So you asked me about some horror stories in investing in real estate. What about you? Is there any horror stories that you have in any of your properties?
Joshua Tree always gets problems.
Yeah.
So the best story is Friday night, me, my wife, and the kids are hanging out in downtown San Jose at a bar, like a restaurant, outdoorsy bar where the kids can actually be at. And then we get a call from a guest in the Airbnb in Joshua Tree saying, hey, the place isn't clean. So the cleaner never showed up ever. Have you ever checked in yourself somewhere? No, right?
There's one like in a hotel, there's like still some hair or some stuff underneath.
But imagine like going into an Airbnb and you're paying $400-$500 a night, and clearly it was a party there and then the beds were by the previous guest. And so we called our cleaner and she was out of town. And then the software system didn't link up.
Yeah.
So she didn't get a notification to then have her backup person go. Luckily, power of networking, we have a group in Joshua Tree of Joshua Tree short-term rental operators. Like, hey, like 911, we need a cleaner. We'll pay anything.
Yeah.
Who's got someone?
Yeah.
Have you met Patrick yet?
I've seen him in social media.
Yeah, and on Clubhouse and we're doing that thing.
Yes, Clubhouse.
So he started a property management company down in SoCal, and he immediately connected with his cleaner.
Yeah.
We paid, I think it was like maybe like a 30% premium of what we normally pay, but this was Friday night, an emergency, like at 8 o'clock at night. She came out there while the guests were actually gonna go out and have dinner. We apologized like fans. I said, man, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe like this has never happened before at all of us in the property. We're so sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, and like, hey, we found another cleaner. Is it okay if they come over right now?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, no problem. We're actually gonna go out for dinner.
Yeah.
So then for the 2.5 hours that they were at dinner, she came over, turned the entire house, and then even took a little bit of inventory over some of the stuff that like she never cleaned the house before.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh my God, Patrick, your guy like saved the day.
Yeah.
And I Venmo'd the cleaner right away.
Yeah.
And then I sent Patrick a DoorDash gift card of like, dude, here's dinner on us.
Yeah.
Like,
You
we
gotta do
appreciate
that.
it.
What's the lesson learned from that?
Have more backups,
Have more.
for sure.
Backup cleaners.
Back up everything.
Backup everything.
Because it's different than long-term rentals.
Yes.
Where you'll have time to fix the mistakes, but on Airbnb, it's like they're there for 2 nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you have to fix it now or you're dead.
Yeah.
For the guests, they came back, and actually the cleaner wasn't done yet, but they were definitely like really nice about it.
Right.
And then we also Instacarted them a nice little care package afterward, just like, hey, we're so sorry.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was all good, but it's interesting.
Worked out. It's a beauty of real estate.
I don't know about that. And that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of asking other investors what was their worst horror stories and what they learned from it. Hopefully it's demystified the process for you. And even in the worst case scenarios, real estate investing still works out to an extent. If you have rental properties yourself and also have nightmare stories, I'd love to hear about your story in the comments down below. And if you have any other questions as well, let me know. Again, my name is Josh Baldovino. I'm a marketer and a real estate investor, and I hope that you enjoyed our stories. If you did and you'd like to help me out, I'd love for you to smash the like button, click subscribe, and I will see you all on the next video. Cheers.